I just watched a little snippet, not the whole thing, but I need to because it came out of her mouth, of the Dear Future Wifey Podcast. And this woman was talking about how she was graced by God to persevere through the verbal abuse and infidelity of her husband, to the point to where when he would call her out her name, she would not be affected by it because she would hear the God's voice in her head saying all the things that she truly was, and that she was so graced to walk through this abuse and trauma that she would even prepare this man's clothes for him to go cheat on her. She would iron, put pleats in this man's clothes so he could look sharp for his side chick. Okay?
Just like you've done
I have never, sorry, that's my Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, that's my Shaka Khan voice on the ways. Y'all should use it because she is very, very soothing.
like you've done 1,000 times.
My nerves are so irritated because I am so tired of this Christian woman long-suffering trope that we perpetuate to legitimize the lack of accountability and abuse that these men will put you through. I'm so fucking tired of it. I really am. And you know, it's not even that. I was just watching Sister Wives. Like, if y'all know me, you know I love Sister Wives. They do this shit in all these churches. Like, to hear the Sister Wives finally be free and now exposing all the shit that was going down behind the scenes, but then telling us that they couldn't say nothing because of the church, and my husband is head of my house, so he's basically God. The way that religion has manipulated women's minds to put men in the place of God makes me sick. I would like, it's disgusting. You ironed your, and you know what? Her story, her truth, her journey, her lesson. But you ironed your man's stuff while he downgraded, berated, and called you all kinds of names so he could go sleep with the next one? Psh, nigga, it couldn't be me. Like, and that's a hard couldn't be me. That's a factual, no, allegedly, like, no, I would never take that back. I know 10,000% couldn't be me at all. And, you know, and I will say the lady was like, I don't recommend anybody do this unless you feel like you're graced by God. I don't recommend any woman do this fucking period. Why is it that in the church, we are always telling women that they have to suffer, they have to endure, they have to bear the responsibility of their men's choices? And you know what we say every time a pastor cheats? Oh, well, he's just human. You know, he's just human. He's just learning. He's just trying to figure it out. Whenever a pastor is caught up in some scandals, which has happened over the last 2 years, back to back to back, it's, oh, let's have forgiveness. Let's remember. But y'all constantly are making women suffer through men's choices, inadequacies, lack of accountability, disrespect, and abuse. And this is why I don't really mess with the church like that. I have pastors that I really do appreciate and like, but 98% of y'all I don't fuck with because of stuff like this. And then you're sitting here watching Latieres and her used to be, I guess, like, for all we know, he's probably still smashing the girls because learned behavior. You've already shown him how you'll be allowed to be treated, okay? So Latieres and old boy sitting up there like, giving these approval hums from the choir of whackness, as if they are trying to insinuate, because this is what they're doing, insinuating that her suffering is a badge of fucking honor. It's not. It's it's sad. I hate that shit. Oh, you know, well, she's a good woman. She's a good woman. It's giving me Breon from Love Island, who smashed 2 chicks on camera, and you knew you had a church girl, and you had the audacity to say, she gonna take me back because you know what? She's a good woman. She is a woman of God. Nowhere do I see in the Bible where it says I need to entertain abuse. Nowhere do I see that. Has the church perpetuated that? Absolutely. Because you can hear Bible stories in the church and it will be completely manipulated to have you believe some other shit. For example, let's talk about Tamar. This is one of the Bible stories that piss me off the most. Every time I hear a man talk about the story of Tamar, and I can't even remember the old hoe bag that Art worded her, but every time you see a man in the pulpit talk about Tamar, they literally phrase it like this, and I'm dead ass. They will say, so-and-so loved Tamar so much that he had to have her. He was overcome with the love that he had for her. He wanted her to be his wife so badly that he just had to have her. Just had to have her really means he raped her. Let's keep it a buck. Then her 2 brothers were like, nah, we about to F him up because he R-worded our sister. And then they never talk about how she was abused and assaulted in the Bible, and that's why her brothers went and did. They never say it directly. They always give old boy credit for wanting her so bad that he just couldn't have self-control. And then the brothers go to save her, so they always prop the brothers up as like, the brothers weren't going to have that because the brothers loved their sister and that was not okay. So they went to him and they were going to his ass, right? Another way, propping men up, coming out as the heroes. Dude, I've never heard a pastor in my 42 years, in my many sermons I've watched on YouTube and been in church services and went to Catholic school, ever say Tamar was abused. What he did to her was incorrect. Ever. I've never heard it. And then they made her marry her abuser. Like, literally, I've never heard anybody in church ever say this was wrong. And this is just like the shit that I always see, that I'm like, wow, y'all keep perpetuating the abuse of women in the church. Y'all keep perpetuating it. Every time y'all want to talk about a Jezebel spirit, y'all talk about women. But meanwhile, the Jezebel spirit is on the stage. Let's keep it real. The Jezebel spirit are there in the pulpit. And y'all always want to make it seem like women are the Jezebels. It's ridiculous to me how men literally manipulate the Bible and doctrine on women to get away with abuse. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. It's ridiculous. And the way Latieres and old boy sat up there just, with that, you a good Christian woman, no accountability, no calling nobody out, no empathy. Like, oh damn, I would have been like, girl, are you serious? That's a lot. Nothing like, no, you know what, you should have never did that. That is not your cross to bear. You are not Jesus. None of that. You know why? Because they continuously feed off of women. The church does. If there were no women going to church, every church would fail. But they have to keep playing on the lives of women, the hopes of women, the sadness of women, the sorrow of women to continue to get them dollars, baby. And that's exactly what I just saw on Dear Future Wifey Podcast, which is supposed to be a Christian podcast. And all I could say to myself was, damn, we're still doing this? Like, y'all still, I don't ever want no man to be like, to me. Because no. Been there, done that, ain't never doing it again. I ain't no motherfucking shirts, but I have endured verbal abuse from a man and emotional abuse. But I wasn't ironing no motherfucking shirts to be like, go see your side chick while I wait at home. The fuck? Y'all can say whatever you want to say, and I do consider myself a Christian, but I don't consider myself one of them Christians. I'm so tired of how the church continues to play on the lives of women and then play in their faces. And how these podcasts, call themselves to be Christian podcasts, sit here and continuously support the abuse from men against women in the church. It's disgusting. If you know anything, the whole movement